Hello, welcome to this presentation based on my book titled The Other Side of Safety, Moving from Results-Based to Behavior-Based Safety by me, Robert Palmer, PhD. This is part one, the problems with the safety industry. In chapter one, we review the ineffective leadership between business and safety leaders. This chapter will include explanations regarding how the focus of business leaders and safety leaders are not aligned, how leading with authority is dangerous leadership, and how the lack of diversity in personality types is not helping safety leadership. The misalignment between business leaders and safety leaders is natural because each has a different focus. Business leaders tend to leverage their authority and pull rank because safety leaders work for the business leader. This is the root of the problem in safety, that business leaders drive safety in the context of business, which is about getting results. Safety is people-centric and not just results-centric. Results are an indicator that reveals if your safety plan practices, procedures, and policies are working. When results are the sole focus of the program, the tendency is to ignore the people-centric aspects of the safety program. The safety leader's attitude becomes condescending towards the employees, and the safety leader's belief about the employees changes to the negative. Employees are dumb. Employees are to blame. Employees don't think. Employees make all the mistakes, and it can get caustic to where the culture is dysfunctional. This is also the temptation to manipulate the results to make things look better than they are. Being people-centric means your safety program's purpose is to support your people to be their best, and then check the results to see how you, the leadership, are doing. Result-centric safety programs focus on getting results. The mentality, attitudes, values, and beliefs of the safety leader are completely different from a behavior-based framework. Results-based safety leads to multi-dysfunctional layers in the safety culture. People-centric practices include identifying and planning using the science of human behavior and understanding what motivates people. Safety leaders focus on inspiring their teams and assign significant meaning to tasks that need to be done daily. Being intentional in integrating purpose into the operations, a people-centric safety program enhances a functional culture. Results-centric safety programs reveal significant dysfunctions in safety programs that need to be changed. The focus of business leaders is business. Business requires aligning talent with the company's organizational purpose, driving performance in all sectors of the business, and ultimately delivering profitability to the board. Business leaders focus on compliance with the federal government and providing a service at a price point that is profitable yet affordable to customers. Business leaders think in terms of bottom line profitability. Sometimes that is all they think about, and that is not good. The business leader's focus is profits. The quicker, cheaper, and faster, the better. And in general, they also must think about real estate, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship, as well as disruptive technologies, innovation, and competition aspects to keep the organization moving towards the vision. Business leaders often lose sight of this intrapersonal relationship between profit and purpose. Leadership is the most significant factor in the success of a business. Bad leadership results in poor performing companies. Good leadership results in a good performing company, and great leadership results in a great performing company. Everything in business rises and falls with leadership. Great leaders make everything work together seamlessly, and without great leadership, all other business resources are less effective. The quality of the leader and the quality of the leadership directly determines how seamlessly everything works together, and this is how performance is measured. Regarding safety, the business leader must also be aware of how the science of behavior works and support the people-centric approach to safety. The focus of safety leaders is safety. Safety leaders tend to see safety in terms of policy-defined processes, process control, solutions, and continuous improvement. They often use methodologies like quality, lean, Six Sigma, and culture of excellence, which are solid business methodologies that seek to find out the root issue of a problem and then provide a solution as quickly as possible to fix that problem. Safety leaders think in terms of the technical. Often, a safety leader is an engineer. Many of them have strong military backgrounds, and these factors promote technical thinking, which aligns well with business leaders. Business and safety leaders are sometimes similar in that they like to solve problems that are rooted in a defined process, a policy, or a controlled environment. Often, safety leaders are heavily influenced to focus through the context of business leaders' perspective of safety, getting results. Business leaders are persuasive in getting their people to focus on the bottom line results. Safety includes process and policy, but it also needs to be people-centric. You cannot solve people problems using technical problem-solving methods. Business leaders and safety leaders operate from the same business premise to find problems and then solve problems. Business and safety leaders look at business and the business of safety as what is the problem? Solve the problem. How hard can it be? Safety leaders are significantly influenced by business leaders and driven by the fact that they want to avoid being financially penalized. This is not wrong in and of itself, but unfortunately, what happens is that the safety leaders try to apply business methodologies to human aspects of work, and these methodologies do not work with humans. They have the opposite effect. Humans are not a business process or a business system. Psychology offers the best insights regarding the methods for properly dealing with people in the workplace, specifically safety. This is the expertise of industrial organizational psychologists, how people think, feel, and act in the workplace. The function of leadership is the most pervasive influence in any organization. A leader is someone who has a title and bears a responsibility to do a thing. Leadership is influence, but influence is based on character. Leadership is about the ability to influence others to accomplish the goals of the organization. Leading with authority is dangerous because it is a sign that the leader does not have influence. Without influence, a leader is desperate and has to leverage their authority to control people because they are not able to influence them. Not all leaders have the ability to lead. Leadership is the ability to cause people to believe something and convince people regarding a situation or an event by providing a sound reason for the people to pursue a goal. A leader's role is to provide leadership influence by honestly persuading people. When a leader cannot fully influence through persuasion, the potential for disaster is catastrophic to that leader's capability to be effective in the role of leader, to the people who are under the leader, and to the organization. The leader's ability to influence is based on the power of their authority. Power is a way of rating a leader on how influential a leader is at any given time. A leader's power needs to be aligned with their natural leadership style, their personality, and within the context of the vision, purpose, and values of the organization. A powerful leader has expanded their influence over a number of people. According to French and Raven, 1959, there are 6 bases of power: legitimate, coercive, referent, expert, informational, and reward. Legitimate is based on being hired into the role. The coercive basis of power is the one that emerges with an exceptional amount of risk because it transfers so easily into authoritative power. A leader who thinks he or she is in a position of authority tends to be driven by ego and arrogance. Authority establishes a faulty premise for all reasoning for action. The bottom line profits, financial goals, the market, customers, employees, and the board of directors pull leaders in the direction they want and need. The pressure to get things done and get results motivates a leader to capitalize on every possible opportunity in the marketplace. The pressure of business is what strains a leader's leadership. Referent power is based on respect for the leader. You identify with this leader's values, personality, and the way they conduct themselves. Expert is based on expertise and the demonstration of knowledge and the ability to act. Informational power is based on having key or significant information. Sometimes leaders suppress information for this purpose. However, informational power can be based on key insights, knowledge, experience, or expertise that no one else has. The risk here is transparency. The lack of transparency is not good. Reward power is when a leader has permission to reward employees with a promotion, raise, bonus, or a day off. A reward is about rewarding others and benefiting the hard work that an individual has achieved their goal or accomplished a result. A leader does not always have the level of power or depth of leadership, that is, influence, needed for a given situation or circumstance, and this creates complex problems. When a leader lacks leadership, influence, they rely on authority. Authoritative leadership works in some contexts, for example, military or police, with checks and balances, of course. However, authoritative leadership runs the risk of crossing over to an ego-driven motivation. Because of their ego, they become selfish, focused on the letter of the law and not the spirit of the law to control people. Their attitude is condescending. The rules are not for them, but for the employees. They believe they are better than the employees and treat people with disrespect, degrading employees, talking tough with no merit, and implementing penalties and punishment to show off their authority. Their sole focus is to achieve a result. An authoritarian leader struggles to influence people to get things done because people are demotivated and will not follow that leader unless forced. When results are not achieved, the pressure grows to intense levels, with threats, blame, and accusations being leveraged against workers. Weak leadership creates a vacuum that works against them, and they don't even realize what they are doing to themselves. It's a serious blind spot. This blind spot forces weak leaders to leverage their full authority to dictate policies and procedures, direct the actions of people, control all efforts and behaviors, and coerce people with false data, fake narratives, because they are desperate and egotistical. It creates a vacuum where performance and participation by employees becomes meaningless, and engagement drops into low percentages as evidence that their leadership is not working. Therefore, these types of leaders don't want to participate in employee engagement surveys or other metrics. They're not interested in the truth or improving because they don't care about the employees, just themselves. This type of leader needs to be fired immediately, but is not fired, mostly because executive leaders are the same way. It's a leadership silo of ineffective leadership. Personality functioning is an area of study that focuses on understanding how individuals become the best they can be, as well as how they may achieve their full potential. Every person has a certain amount of potential to do a thing. Their capacity to do that thing needs to be developed to reach their full potential. It is an interesting phenomenon that so many of the same personality types are selected for safety leadership. The ST type is a very process-focused individual. They like a linear format for understanding or making sense of their information. Typically, they are incredibly detailed people who find a step-by-step procedure helpful, clarifying, and definitive to move toward a goal. They enjoy creating and following procedures and producing documentation to establish a way of doing things. STs expect others to execute best safety practices fully and willingly. STs are very practical people and desire things to work easily and smoothly and have a critical sense of subtle differences. Sometimes they tend to see the negative side of things first, but that is not always a negative thing in and of itself, but a critical differential from the established or defined standard of their normal functioning. It is in their nature to question things and test things. They want to see the proof that something works. This aspect of their personality, being critical, can become dysfunctional because it becomes judgmental and used to manipulate people or a situation to what they want. If STs are not careful, they can create a reputation for only seeing the negative side of things and being excessively tough on people. It doesn't help that they lack empathy for people as well. Diverse personality types create diverse team functions, and that supports the agility to quickly form new teams and build more meaningful, inclusive relationships once everyone's functioning is understood and applied appropriately. The RBS culture misses the people-centric perspective, which is a serious problem that safety leaders are lacking awareness about. People feel like they are being treated like robots, and they don't like it. You cannot treat people like robots or assets and view everything through a lens of policy and procedure, which is the tendency of the ST personality type. And unfortunately, they're the most predominant personality type in safety leadership. This does not always sustain a successful outcome. There is a need for more diversity of personality types in safety to help combat the one-dimensional thinking and attitudes that can develop. The intuitive thinking (NT), intuitive feeling (NF), or sensing feeling (SF) types could bring a fuller perspective to the table and a broader capacity to think beyond a linear process. These other personality types would also find great value in considering how safety policies, procedures, and practices affect people. The NT, NF, and SF personality types can bring new innovative approaches to safety, and they can also affect positive changes to a safety culture that focuses on optimal functioning capacity. The lack of diverse personality types fosters groupthink. Groupthink leads to silo effect, which are strong indicators of RBS. In the next presentation of Part 1, The Problems with the Safety Industry, we dive into Chapter 2, and we will review practicing results-based safety by focusing on good intentions are not science, using lagging indicators as the wrong premise for problem solving, and pursuing results is results-based safety. Robert Palmer has a PhD in industrial organizational psychology and 18 years of industry experience. Expert in developing the leadership of leaders to influence performance utilizing the science of behavior. Robert's focus is the management of leader, employee, and organizational performance. Robert developed the strength-on-strength method, which aligns personality, character, and case strengths with competencies and emotional intelligence, resulting in people's full functioning performance. Robert teaches you how to create cultural conditions that shape behaviors for people to perform at their best, linking performance initiatives to business strategies and outcomes. Dr. Palmer's experience and research reinforce leaders to practice influence rather than authority. Global project management experience gained from international business projects in India, Israel, and Europe. Dr. Palmer is the author of the Palmer Performance Planner, Reflect, Focus, Deliver, The Other Side of Safety, Moving from Results-Based to Behavior-Based Safety by CNC Press, Taylor and Francis Group.